Hey, this is Jeff with 5 Minute Murder. Thank you guys for joining us and checking it out. This is our first episode. I do a trivia show on Sunday nights on Clubhouse called True Crime Trivia, and some of the ladies on there have been asking me to do a YouTube channel. So here it is. We're going to do this lovely 5 Minute Murder. I am the owner of Scorpion Lair Games and the creator of Killers the Card Game. So we're going to take one of the 300 and some odd killers that we have in the card game, and we're going to pick one of them at random, and then we're going to talk about them for 5 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it at 5 minutes. I got a little timer over here to keep me honest, because those of you that know me know that I can talk for hours about all kinds of things. So we're going to try to avoid that and keep it to 5 minutes. And like I said, this one will be a little bit longer since it's the first episode. But we're going to pick a card out of here. As you can see, the decks there's a lot. So we've got an organized crime expansion, world of serial killers, lady killers, and occults expansion. So with that, there's over 300 killers in the game, and it is continuing to rise, of course. So we're going to pick a card out of here, and then we're going to talk about them. We'll see who we get. Oh, look, we got Richard Ramirez for our first card. So I'm going to hit the start on the timer here, and we'll read the back of the card first. So for the card game, it says Richard Ramirez was born on February 29th of 1960 and died on June 7th of 2013. He killed at least 14 people and raped and tortured at least 24 more, mostly during the spring and summer of 1985. After developing epilepsy as a child, he became a heavy drug user and cultivated an interest in Satanism, which became his calling card for investigators at his crime scenes. Apprehended in August of 1985, Ramirez was sentenced to death at the conclusion of his trial in 1989. He spent the remainder of his days at California's San Quentin prison before dying from cancer on June 7th of 2013 at age 53. So I know a lot of people that have lots of artwork from Richard Ramirez and letters and things. A buddy of mine right now, Jason Stauffer, who you can't see it, but up here in front of me, he does a bunch of different artwork. Matter of fact, he was the main artist for our Serial Killer Kids cards. So if you check those out on our website, go to Linktree /KillersTCG or go to Scorpion Lair Games and check it out. But on there, he does some incredible artwork. He has right now a letter from Richard Ramirez that he painted artwork on and has a picture of Ramirez. There's a really, really famous shot of Ramirez in the courtroom where he's drawn on his hand a pentagram and a 666. But Ramirez, you know, he was a guy that would go in and he'd break into the houses at night if he found an open door, because he wouldn't actually like kick in a door or anything. If he found an open door, an open window, he would go in and then he would kill and often rape and then kill whoever was in the house. Didn't care, man, woman, child. Didn't matter if she was 80 years old or 14 years old. He believed that if the door was open, then Satan had ordained it for him to be there, and he would go in and he would then take care of business. The crazy thing about Ramirez is, and I have several family members that lived in California during the time that Ramirez was killing there, and the whole community was gripped in fear. And there's a story, they believed that Ramirez was breaking into like yellow houses, and they had a greenhouse with yellow trim. So everybody was freaked out about all of that. If you've watched the documentary about Elisa Lam, they talk about Richard Ramirez in that. He lived for some time in the hotel that she is associated with. I can't remember the name of the hotel right now. Damn that trivia. So in that hotel, somebody give it to me at the end of this, because in the comments, because I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, in that hotel, Ramirez would stay on his floor, and he would often go down the fire escape or go back up the fire escape naked or in his underwear covered in blood. I did a cosplay of Richard Ramirez for a while. I shaved my beard, and I look a little bit like him if I had my long hair again. So, but anyway, Richard Ramirez, really interesting figure, very, very much involved in his own personal brand of Satanism, relied very heavily on that. Just an interesting case. And then the fact that at the end of his whole, killing spree, that it was the community that brought him in, not the police. Like, the community saw him and beat the shit out of him and held him there until the police came to arrest him. Talk about community action. They were taking action and making sure that he did not continue to terrorize their whole community. So, Richard Ramirez, crazy guy, very much had a bloodlust for doing what he did. And he is an example of that. He really enjoyed what he did, as terrible as it might be. But yeah, old Nightstalker himself, Richard Ramirez, died of, what was it? He died of lung cancer. Well, of cancer. And there is the timer. Thank you guys for joining us for our very first, maybe it'll stop. Stop? I don't know how to stop it. There we go. New technology, right? But yeah, there's our very first episode of 5 Minute Murder, talking a little bit about Richard Ramirez today. So check it out. We're going to drop a new episode every Friday, and hopefully you enjoy it. We'll do a new one. Ramirez will be out now, and we'll draw somebody else. We'll talk about them for 5 minutes, give you a little history, talk a little bit about what happened, and we'll try to do it in less than 5 minutes. So thank you guys for joining us. Join us again. Remember, click down there, like and subscribe and all that shit so that you can get updates and you know that when we dropped our new episode. So check it out. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.